Hey there. Step up to the mic and say hello.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Word.
Hello. Yo, hi there.
You're standing in front of about 1,000 words.
I'm Ann Friedman. I'm the founder and CEO of Planet Word, a new museum of words and language in Washington, D.C. From an early age, grew up loving to read, grew up being really interested in words and foreign languages, and that's why I started investigating the idea of creating a museum of words and language. Being able to occupy the Franklin School, this National Historic Landmark, as the home for Planet Word. We like to call ourselves the world's first voice-activated museum. So we have lots of voice recognition technology, but we also have motion activation. We have places throughout the museum where just by scooting in on a chair, the exhibit begins, or by laying a book in a special holder, you will trigger projection technology.
There's a character called the Onceler, and the Onceler is essentially us and what we're doing to the planet.
The iconic scenes from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland have captivated audiences for generations. Off with their heads! Oh dear, oh dear!
We have these paint brushes, and you can basically dip one of these high-tech paintbrushes in a word palette and paint the scenery around you on the walls with that word. When I dip my brush in that word, what's going to happen? You know, let me see. And I bet when you do that, you are never going to forget that word. It's going to be sunk into your conscience.
Dear, I shall be
subject we call cooking.
Everything's a wheel, turning and turning, never stopping.
The frogs is part of it, and the bugs, and the fish, and the wood thrush too, and people.
Jokes, what makes them funny? You know, it's those homophones and double entendres.
Oh, come on,
that
come
was
on.
not
Come on,
close
come
to
on.
funny.
A little laugh.
We've had fantastic programs that are reaching a much larger audience. People from all around the US and even in other countries who can listen and enjoy our virtual programs. Ni hao.
Ni hao. My name is Yan Rong. I'm from China, and my first language is Mandarin. It's the most
You see on the
common language in the
globe,
world.
China is lighting
Over a
up.
billion people speak it.
Habari, I'm Doreen. I'm from Tanzania and I speak Swahili.
I speak Icelandic.
I speak Amharic.
Hindi, Korean,
Hawaiian,
Farsi, and I speak Hebrew.
Shalom.
Shalom, I'm Dawn.
The word wall is telling the story of where do words come from in the English language. How did they get into English? And there are many ways that words enter our language. In fact, the exhibit designer and I came up with 24 ways that words enter English, but we settled on about 8 important ways that are represented by the word wall and the story it tells.
English has thousands of words. We don't use that much.
So that's words that came in from war and from the Vikings, and then in 1066, in the Norman Conquest, words that we borrow from other languages.
Part of the story of English is the story of violence, warfare, conquest, and lots of it. It all started when Germanic tribes sailed to what's now England and conquered the people who lived there.
You know, I was a reading and writing teacher, and I think I was pretty successful at that, but like I said, test scores in language arts have been stagnating for years. How could we try to reverse these negative trends? And the idea that came to me was through informal learning. That's what happens at museums. You make learning fun, you have big spaces, you can attract celebrities, all sorts of things that a person can't do on their own or a teacher can't do on his or her own in a school classroom. So I felt like having a museum allowed me the space and the influence and the sort of national attention that maybe would make reading and language and words cool again.